Good morning, everybody. This is the Iceman here on the Jeffrey Rose YouTube channel, and Hell in the Cell is now in the books. In my opinion, I thought the pay-per-view could have been a bit better. I was a little bit disappointed in this pay-per-view because I thought on paper it had all the makings of being one of the better pay-per-views of the year. And I think possibly the throw-in matches sort of took a little bit of the intensity away from the pay-per-view itself. But anyway, the pre-show match opened up with Kofi Kingston and Damian Sandow. Um, a match because Axel, I believe, is hurt. I think he might have a quad injury. I'm not sure. So they scrapped the Axel and Biggie Langston match. So they bring in the Money in the Bank briefcase winner Damian Sandow to face Kofi Kingston, and it was none other than Damian Sandow coming out on top of this match, and nobody would really expect anything more. So, moving on to the opening match of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view card, it was the tag team championship match. The champions Cody and Goldust facing the Shield, also facing the Uso brothers. A very exciting opening match on the pay-per-view. Uh, I personally would love to see the Uso brothers end up becoming the tag team title holders. I think they're energetic and they're fun to watch in the ring. They have a lot to bring to the table for the WWE, and hopefully, eventually, somewhere down the road, they will end up getting the titles. But on this given night, it was as predicted: Goldust and Cody Rhodes ending up retaining in a very entertaining tag team title match. So, congratulations to Cody and Goldust. You hang on to the tag team titles a little bit longer. Up next was a match that I totally didn't expect. Um, Fandango and Summer Rae came out to face the Great Khali with Natalya, along with Hornswoggle in their corner. Um, this match didn't even need to be on the card. I think they just wanted to get Fandango on there. But in any event, we had this match, and like I said, it was a match that shouldn't have been on the card. But anyway, it was sort of like a worthless match. But Summer Rae ended up getting the pin on Natalya, and I mean, that did that make any sense to you guys? I mean, I know it didn't make any sense to me. This was Summer Rae's first in-ring debut for the WWE on a pay-per-view, and so I guess they wanted to showcase her a little bit. But in any event, it was a very meaningless match as far as I'm concerned, and it really didn't need to be on the card. So anyhow, early on, it was decided that United States champion Dean Ambrose was going to defend his title against Big E Langston. This all developed in the beginning of the show. Big E was part of the panel with Josh Matthews, Dolph Ziggler, R-Truth, and Caitlyn. And this is how that match did develop. Langston can hold himself together in the ring quite well. It was a pretty good match. It was a pretty scrappy match. But Langston shows that he has the ability to become a pretty good wrestler and possibly a big superstar in the WWE. But unfortunately, Dean Ambrose was outside the ring and he got counted out. And Big E Langston ended up winning by disqualification. So, but other than that, I mean, you'd have to say it was a pretty good match, regardless of what went on there. So moving on, we go to, which I was very surprised that this was the next match, was the handicapped Hell in a Cell match. CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman came out and he was lifted to the top of the cage, and he was on top of the cage throughout this whole match between Ryback and Ryback and CM Punk. Now, I'm not a big fan of Ryback. I don't think he can wrestle. And I think tonight he proved me right because CM Punk did all he could to make this a great match. Um, I thought this match was going to end up becoming a lot better than what it was, but CM Punk definitely had to carry this match, and it wasn't all that exciting of a match. CM Punk did end up putting Ryback to sleep, um, and then climbing up to the top of the cage and finally getting his hands on Paul Heyman and beating him up with a kendo stick and giving him the goal to go to sleep. So, sort of predictable in a way, but not the way I thought it was going to come down as far as what developed into the match. But like I said, CM Punk had to carry this match, and it's as we've seen with Ryback in many other matches. I mean, if your opponent isn't up to the task, the match isn't going to be all that good. And I think this is probably going to be the beginning of the end for Ryback and Paul Heyman. But we'll just have to wait and see uh, what does develop there. So again, CM Punk ends up winning this match, and hopefully the feud ends there. Up next, we had the Los Matadores with El Torito versus the Real Americans with Zeb Coulter. That's Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. Another match which I could have really cared less, to be honest with you, if it was on the card or not, because I think all the other matches were strong enough to carry this card. But again, I think the WWE is trying to showcase a little bit of Antonio Cesaro because he is a great talent, a great wrestler. But it wasn't to be on this given night because Jack Swagger ended up taking the pin, and for Los Matadors, they get their first WWE pay-per-view win. So again, it wasn't my idea of a great match, but in any event, it is what it is. So okay, up next we had the World Heavyweight Championship match. The champion Alberto Del Rio against the challenger and the return of John Cena. This match I really wasn't sure about going into it. I didn't know whether Damien Sandow was going to cash in. They kept showing camera shots of Sandow watching this match backstage, and the more they showed Sandow watching the match, the more it led me to believe that he wasn't going to cash in. I thought Del Rio and John Cena put up a pretty good fight in this match. John Cena looked a little bit rusty. You could tell he was still injured. And Alberto Del Rio was trying to take advantage of the weak arm of Cena. But all in all, I thought this was one of the better matches on the card in Hell in a Cell. And when it was all said and done, John Cena is now the WWE's new World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm sort of happy to see this. I think it was time for Alberto to lose the belt. And to be honest with you, the WWE right now has no confidence in anybody else holding this title, and I think they're looking to bring more prestige back to the World Heavyweight title. So John Cena is now the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and for me, I'm okay with that. I know a lot of people aren't happy with the fact that Cena is a champion once again. But anyway, it does bring more power to this belt. So up next, we had the Divas Championship match. We had AJ Lee with Tamina and Brie Bella with her sister Nikki. I was hoping that AJ Lee was going to retain the title on this given night. I don't think I'm ready for her to lose the Divas title. And it proved me right. Brie gave it her all. She inadvertently kicked her sister in the face or kneed her sister in the face. But that wasn't, what caused the ending of the match because she turned around and looked to see what she did to Nikki and she got back involved with AJ. But AJ Lee, again, with the Black Widow on Brie Bella, and it was too much for Brie to hold on. And AJ Lee, again, retains the Divas Championship title. So that was a pretty good match. I was pretty pleased with that as well. So I was glad to see all this unfold, pretty much the way it did. So AJ Lee, of course, is, one of my favorites, and I'm just glad to see that she did retain. All right, up next, we had the WWE title match, the vacant title. We had Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, special guest referee Shawn Michaels. And I would have to say this match was really, really predictable in my eyes. I stated in my preview that I thought possibly Shawn Michaels would give Bryant the Sweet Chin music. This was a pretty good match overall. It delivered. I mean, as far as action and you can say what you want about Randy Orton. You can like him or you can hate him, but he is good when it comes to wrestling within the ring. And of course, Daniel Bryan, as we all know, is one of the best wrestlers the WWE has. Um, he is the most agile. He's the most energetic. He's the most versatile. And on this given night, Daniel Bryan had the pin on Randy Orton, but unfortunately, Triple H sort of diverted Shawn Michaels and he accidentally got smashed into the side of the cage. So Triple H was getting all upset, screaming, Shawn, are you all right? Are you all right? Triple H had the refs open up the cage door. Triple H went in. Bryant was trying to aid um, Shawn Michaels. Triple H threw him away. And what eventually happened was Daniel Bryan drop kicked Triple H. And the next thing you know, Shawn Michaels gives Daniel Bryan the sweet chin music. And Randy Orton covers him for the pin. Triple H is ecstatic. Shawn Michael walks away, and the show ends. So it was sort of predictable. I wasn't pleased that Randy Orton won. Um, the storyline continuing to screw Daniel Bryan over does continue. Um, we'll just have to wait and see. Will Daniel Bryan really ever get the title and really ever get to hold on to it? I really don't know. Sometimes I think it is all politics within the WWE. Because let's face it, Triple H does have a lot of pull in the WWE, and if Triple H doesn't like somebody, they're not going to go anywhere. So whether this is the case or not, I don't know. But overall, I was thinking this pay-per-view might be close to an 8 or a 9. I actually give it like a 6.5. It didn't deliver as well as I thought it would, and I think a lot of it had to do with the throw-in matches. The Great Khali, uh, and Natalia on the match against Fandango and Summer Rae. I mean, I thought it just didn't need to be there. And we also saw a segment with The Miz and the Wyatts, and Kane came in and cleaned house. And they only did that just to let us all know that Kane has returned. And so we'll see what happens tonight on Monday Night Raw. So that's my review of the show. I did enjoy it. I hope everybody else did as well. So we go on from there. We got Raw tonight. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you next time.